Idling engines in Hong Kong. It is not difficult to imagine the bad quality of air in China from newspaper and TV. If you have time, you may even notice that China may ignore the environmental issues but just concentrating on the economic growth. World Bank has listed the top 20 worst air cities. Let's take a look at the world map. We can see that there are 16 cities from China out of the 20 cities. China's air quality is really bad and suffocating. Let's take a look at another source. According to Chinese government source, there are about a fifth of urban Chinese citizens breathing in heavily polluted air. Some people from Beijing even say that they need to wear masks nearly every day in order to survive. Babies living in polluted areas have to be van outing if the air quality reaches hazardous level. Serious respiratory disease such as pneumonia would be occurred even to teens. There are 340 cities in China, but only 140 cities meet China's own pollution standard. Imagine China is a classroom. There are only one-third of students meet the standard of pollution test. How disappointing! Compared to Singapore's standard, the highest PSI reading is 226 in September 1997, which is only reached very unhealthy level. It is very hard to imagine how the people living in polluted cities of China have to live in a hazardous level air quality every day. There is a study done by the World Health Organization, WHO, estimated that the amount of airborne suspended particulates in northern China is almost 20 times what WHO considers as safe level. As we can see, air pollution has reached an alarming level in China. If we do not do something to improve this phenomenon, not only the environment, but the economy will be affected as well. And then the balance between the environment and economy will be destroyed. Airborne particle is a kind of pollutant that we usually find in polluting air. The U.S. Embassy Air Quality Monitor for PM 2.5 had mentioned that airborne particles are small enough to enter the lungs and the blood. It reached the level hazardous and hits 440 micrograms per cubic meter about 2 p.m. With its small size and highly reachability, this pollutant can become an intangible killer to human beings. If we keep breathing it in days by days, years by years, we may easily get lung cancer. If we talk about air pollution, it is easy for us to associate it with vehicle. This is because vehicles too contribute a lot on air pollution. Vehicles are the second largest source of air pollution in Hong Kong, contributing to 25% of territory-wide emission of respirable suspended particulates, RSP, 25% of nitrogen oxides, and 50% of carbon dioxide respectively. All of these substances contribute to air pollution and affect the air quality in Hong Kong. Have you ever thought that air pollution can also vital to humans? Because of air pollution, there are approximately 1,600 people die annually. What is the significance of these 1,600 people? These 1,600 people contribute to 200 billion economic loss. We are not losing our people. We are also losing the money, labor force, our beautiful environment, and even some of the creatures. This is because some animals may go extinct because they lose their habitat. We are losing a lot more. Hong Kong is a city full of vehicles, although it seems a bit better than that of Beijing. Here in Hong Kong, we have about 5,067,705 vehicles with a total road length of 2,009 km. 2,009 km is an abstract number to you, right? Actually, 2,009 km is comparable to a bridge in Hong Kong. This means if all the vehicles in Hong Kong form a line, it can help us to form a vehicle bridge already. If you drive, you will know that there is often heavy traffic in Hong Kong. But I guess you will never know that how many vehicles there are per km in Hong Kong. On average, there are 275 vehicles per km on the road. If we place all the vehicles on the road, they will turn out to be a long queue starting from Hong Kong and end at Malaysia. Those vehicles form a long chain which is more than 1,000 kilometers beyond Hong Kong and Malaysia. How epic it can be! Keep in mind that every liter of gasoline you use produces 2.4 kg of CO2, which is the main type of greenhouse gas. Hong Kong has the highest road traffic density in the world. Every vehicle generates 2.4 kg of CO2 when a liter of gasoline is used. And there are numbers of vehicles that are comparable to a bridge in Hong Kong. You can see how terrible it can be. The diagram below shows the emission and distribution of various air pollutants including sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, respirable suspended particulate air pollutants, volatile organic compounds, and carbon monoxide in Hong Kong in 2011. The main source of emission including utility power generation, road and water transport, civil aviation, and other fuels combustion and non-combustion source. The navigation has occupied the largest amount of pollutant emitted. Too hot. According to some reports done by the NGOs, the temperature inside the car reached 40 degrees Celsius in summertime, which is an unsuitable environment for drivers and passengers to stay in as it is really hot. They may suffer from heat stroke and associate with other health problems. This poses the largest impact to the drivers as they need to stay in the vehicle for long hours, maybe more than 10 hours a day. This brings uncomfort and inconvenience to them. Oven switching makes the engine strain easily. It requires more frequent maintenance and repairs treatment. Therefore, idling prohibition has raised the maintaining and repairing costs of the vehicles for the drivers. It is estimated that the usage life of an engine will reduce from 7 years to 3 years. In other words, the extra cost of idling prohibition has doubled. This reduced the profits and the salary of the drivers. There are many exemptions of idling prohibition, including the first 5 taxis and the first 2 minibuses waiting in the stations. Those idling exemptions grant the driver result in a watered-down version of the ordinance, rendering the problem of notorious air pollution unsolved. All these exemptions are difficult to be monitored, and it cannot fulfill the economic efficiency if the government practices them strictly, as it requires large amount of human resources. Those who leave their vehicle engines idling for a cumulative time of 3 minutes in any 60-minute period will be subjected to a fine of HKD 320 in the form of a fixed penalty ticket. Only 3 drivers had received the fixed penalty notice for idling engines since the enactment of the Motor Vehicle Idling Fixed Penalty Ordinance. Secretary for the Environment K.S. Wong told the Legislative Council that they had timed 806 vehicles with idling engines since the ordinance came into force in December 2011.